Witnesses in tonight's hearing about the Capitol riot testified former President Trump could have easily gotten in front of a camera and condemned the attack.
Instead, for 2.5 hours, witnesses say he sat in the dining room and watched it all happen on TV. Fox 4's Blake Hansen joins us now with more on that. Details also on the investigation into the Secret Service regarding the attack. Blake?
Yeah, Heather and Steve, members of the committee alleged that then President Trump not only failed to act to stop the riot, but chose not to act. The committee presented a mix of live testimony and tape depositions showing many people within the White House, including the president's own family, wanted him to say something to halt the riot. Instead, the evidence presented showed that the president was watching news coverage. He was also calling senators as he continued to push to block the certification of Joe Biden's victory. Meanwhile, White House staff was angry and upset about what they were seeing at the Capitol. They say they were dumbfounded that the president continued to tweet about his speech earlier in the day and also continued to attack his vice president, Mike Pence. Even the day after, the president was reluctant to acknowledge the election was over. The committee showed outtakes from a speech he recorded.
But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
Two White House staffers who resigned hours after the riot testified live before the committee. They say the president's unwillingness to condemn the riot as it was ongoing drove them to resign.
One of my aides handed me a sheet of paper that contained the tweet that you just read. I read it and was quite disturbed by it. I was disturbed and worried to see that the president was attacking Vice President Pence for doing his constitutional duty. So the tweet looked to me like the opposite of what we really needed at that moment, which was a de-escalation.
And I've seen the impact that his words have on his supporters. They truly latch on to every word and every tweet that he says. And so I think that in that moment, for him to tweet out the message about Mike Pence, it was him pouring gasoline on the fire and making it much worse.
While the committee focused on Trump's inaction, it also presented new evidence about what was happening inside the Capitol, including testimony that Secret Service agents were calling loved ones, fearing the worst in the middle of the riot.
There was a lot of yelling, a lot of very personal calls over the radio. So it was disturbing. I don't like talking about it, but there were calls to say goodbye to family members, so on and so forth.
There was another major development with the Secret Service this evening. Fox News has confirmed the Department of Homeland Security is conducting a criminal investigation into deleted text messages by the Secret Service related to the riot. Those text messages were reportedly deleted when the agency migrated to a new system weeks after the incident. And that thread of the investigation is perhaps one reason why we got news tonight that these hearings will continue. The committee says it will gather information in August, and it now plans to hold additional hearings in September.